Habitual man hater here that just happens to be in a relationship with a man. I find it so crazy how a lot of women will flip on other women as soon as they get into a relationship because all of a sudden they become male centered. That logic sounds so fucking dumb to me. A lot of y'all are single and miserable. A lot of y'all are single because y'all are intolerable. A lot of y'all are single because y'all are only dating men for experiences. Why the fuck do you want this man to take you on wine tastings and trips and all this other shit when you've never even done that shit for yourselves? You can't even afford to. A lot of y'all are complaining saying, why would I waste money to put gas in my car to go on this date? Just say you're fucking broke and shouldn't be dating in the fucking first place. Just say that. It always comes off as miserable, especially when y'all give opinions on shit like, oh, he bought her flowers. Like, that's bare minimum as fuck. Flowers is $14. When the fuck has a man ever bought you some fucking flowers, bitch? And then saying some shit like, oh, I don't date men because I know my worth. I'm just waiting my time. I know my worth. No, the fuck you don't. You've accepted worse before. You've accepted a man not buying you shit and still stayed, but you're just miserable and single. So now all of a sudden you have these fucking opinions and these think pieces.
The Know Your Worth bullshit act just hides the reality that they're flat broke and miserable to be around. It's a massive grift designed to make guys pay for a fake luxury lifestyle. A smart man simply keeps his wallet closed and walks away from the whole trap.
I cannot go on a coffee date because I don't have the time. If I said yes to coffee dates and walks, I would be going on 3 dates a day. Let's be honest about the situation here. I have big tits, a fat ass, and a solid face card. Like, I'm gonna get asked out a lot. The barrier to enter to date me has to be higher than a coffee or a walk. I don't have all the time in the day to go on all those coffee dates.
Why can't she just say that all she wants is a free $300 dinner meal? We get your point. You want someone who will gladly spend on you instead of just taking you out for coffee, but I'm here to tell you that's not going to attract high-value men. If anything, it just proves you want a free ride, and smart guys don't fund those.
So this woman was in a restaurant. She's looking around and all she sees other women. Nobody on a date. No man and woman on a date. Just women, as she said, dating each other. So the commentary is that men don't want to be on dates anymore. They don't want to go out with women because it's a waste of time and money. So my question is, do men ever like going on a date? Do men like going on dates? They like going to restaurants and trying different foods and things like that. Is it something that they only did because women like to do it? Like if I'm going to get in a relationship and I say I want to go to a restaurant, am I making him do something that he doesn't want to do? A lot of men say they just rather stay home. But what do you guys think?
A lot of men want to stay home, not just to save money, but to also be at peace. Guys, how many of you took a woman out to a good dinner and never heard back from her? Share your stories down in the comment section.
Notice that men like you the most when you really don't like them. I hate when that happens. Have you noticed that though? When you really could care less and you're just living your life, you're really not trying to impress them like at all, they become obsessed with you. He's texting you nonstop and he's calling you all the time. He's like trying really hard. But the second you start thinking, okay, yeah, maybe I could really like this guy, all of a sudden that guy like goes distant. And a lot of women are like, oh, what happened? Like, what did I do wrong? I've gone through this so many times when I was dating. So here's the psychology behind it, okay? When you're not that invested, your nervous system is so regulated, okay? You're feeling relaxed. You're playful around this guy. You're basically unpredictable because you're living your best life. Like, he's not on a pedestal. And that creates something very powerful in your brain, and it's called the dopamine pursuit. And dopamine isn't released when we have something, okay? Dopamine is actually released when we're trying to get it, which is crazy. So when a man feels like he has to win you over, his brain is literally rewarding him for pursuing you.
Guys just want peace and a normal chat without all the extra pressure. A regular date doesn't need to turn into a giant science experiment. Have you guys ever lost interest because the mental gymnastics got too crazy?
So that's a trick, because when you start liking him way too much, your energy absolutely changes, and that guy can feel it. He knows it. All of a sudden, you're the one that's texting first. All of a sudden, you're accommodating his schedule, and you're trying to secure that connection because now you like the guy, right? And then suddenly, that challenge disappears. So his brain goes from pursuing you to he's got you. And that kind of certainty is the fastest way to kill the attraction, okay? So the lesson isn't to play games with this man, okay? That's not what you're gonna do. The lesson is to stay centered in your life. Stay that girl that was busy, that could care less, okay? Because the woman men chase the hardest, truly, are the women who never chase them to begin with.
This whole playbook just forces people to fake their personality to keep a guy around. Smart guys gladly pack up and leave the second they realize the connection isn't genuine. There's zero reason to stick around for someone who treats relationships like a strategic chess match.
When men who are 32 plus say that they don't know what they're looking for and they don't know what they want, bitch, you're bald. You're literally bald and you don't know what you're looking for? Well, I suggest you might figure that out because you're about to die soon. You don't have much time left on this earth.
I'm going to try to say this without, like the algorithm flagging my ass. So this lady caught herself getting involved with a guy in prison. Like, it wasn't like she hooked up with him and then he went to prison. Homeboy was already in prison when she decided to get fucked in the bathroom and then get pregnant by a dude who's in prison for God knows what. And all I could think about is your standards that gutter trash. Like, your standards in men is so deep in the very pits of hell that even the devil himself is like, God damn. So you really don't have options, right? You settle for a dude who's already in jail. I don't know what's worse. The fact that you got fucked and dumped in the bathroom by a dude who's in jail, who don't want shit to do with you, and now you're pregnant, and he can't even take care of it. You couldn't even put him on child support because he's an inmate making slave wages.
A prison bathroom hookup proves standards aren't just low, they're non-existent. Regular dudes bust their humps and still get passed over for a guy locked in a cell. You can't even get child support from a baby daddy making slave wages behind bars.
I don't know what's worse, her or the chick who slept with a disabled dude, a special ed dude with a micro wee, and then caught herself trying to be on, Al Gore's internet talking shit. And I'm going to have to echo the sentiments of my good mutual. So regular dudes didn't want you. You weren't pretty enough to pull a regular dude. So you pulled a special ed dude and then thought it was a flex to talk shit about him. You weren't good enough for a regular dude, so you had to settle for a special ed dude. So she wasn't good enough for a dude who's walking around free that doesn't have a criminal record, so she had to settle for an inmate. The inmate, in turn, played in her face after she got pregnant. Ladies, y'all prove every fucking day you have no standards, you have no morals, and y'all want to sit there and talk shit about the men? Gentlemen, I am so sorry for the pie comment. You do have standards. I apologize for the pie reference. Do you forgive me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You do have standards. You do have limits. Because when women gotta settle for getting with an inmate and getting fucked in the bathroom or getting with a special ed dude, you do have standards. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
The constant trash talk about average guys looks crazy when these are the actual choices. We're watching women openly admit they prefer inmates over decent men. An apology to dudes finally admits we're the only ones who still hold basic morals.
If a man is telling you that he values peace above all else, I want to let you know, not in every case, but in a lot of cases, what he means by that is finding a woman that is silently going to tolerate all of his disrespect.
Men are not the problem. And I have been seeing this thread for a very long time and I have never spoken to it, mostly because it's not popular. It's really popular for women to hate on men, for women to bitch about the patriarchy, for women to say that it's all men's fault. Men are not the problem. Men are not the problem in domestic violence situations. Men are not the problem in our government. Men are not the problem in the family home. Unhealed trauma is. Dysregulated nervous systems are the problem. We need to stop this toxic ass narrative of men being the problem. Nothing makes me more passionately frustrated than this idea that men are the problem. Men are not the problem. And if they are the problem, then they're certainly the solution.
The massive anti-man narrative finally hit a brick wall of actual accountability. Unhealed mental baggage ruins homes way faster than any fake patriarchy ever could. A rare dose of reality finally exposes that constant blame just covers up personal issues.
And shifts are happening. We've had, a crazy pendulum swing with the feminism movement. A lot of women have got rights that they never had before. That's great. But this hate on men to swing the pendulum in the opposite direction and then have them oppressed and feeling shitty is not the answer. It's not the answer. And if you're one of these people, if you're one of these women who are bitching about men and saying that men are the problem, that is just your unhealed trauma about men. Go heal your own wounding, because the men that I associate with, the men that I am supporting, they are doing the work and they're rallying together with other men so that they can deepen, they can take their pain, they can heal their pain, they can heal their trauma, they can go have the conversations with their fathers and their mothers that they never got to have. The shift is happening, but they need us. Men need women. They need us to be compassionate for them. They need us to hold their feet to the fire so that they actually do the work that is necessary. We have to stop hating on them. We have to stop hating, period. Unless it's funny and comedic reels, but we have to stop hating, period. Stop hating on men. If you are a woman, please heed this call. It is not okay, and we are doing more damage than we could ever imagine. Stop hating.
Endless hostility toward dudes just exposes a total refusal to fix personal baggage. This rare moment of honesty completely destroys the favorite excuse of modern culture. Guys step up when they aren't treated like literal public enemies.
You know what I find so crazy this day and age? Okay, women want to be taken care of, right? They're like, oh, I want a man who's going to pay all the bills. I want a man who's going to support me and blah, blah, blah. And I want to stay home. It is almost impossible for anyone to stay home unless your man is working 3 jobs, has another job, doing something he shouldn't be doing. I feel like in this day and age, it is impossible for you to rely on one income. How can you expect a man to pay all the bills and you do absolutely nothing? You bring nothing. I don't want to say you bring nothing to the table, because maybe you cook, you clean, you bring them peace. But as far as money, think of it as yourself. If he said to you, oh, honey, go to work and you're going to pay all the bills, you would be like, I can't. So he can't either. I don't think anybody wants to pay bills. Nobody wakes up and says, hey, I want to have this career. I want to get paid and I want to waste all my money on bills. Nobody wants that, but that's just being an adult. That's just what you have to do. So if I was told, hey, you don't have to work another day in your life, A, I would still go to work because I love my job. And B, I don't know. I feel like I have to contribute something. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I've never been in the position for someone to take care of me in that way, but I don't know. I just don't think that the man should pay every single bill in the home.
The fantasy of sitting home entirely funded by one paycheck died a long time ago. It's pure delusion to demand a dude work 3 jobs while you watch TV. Bills pile up fast, and a functional adult actually has to contribute something real.
Our species isn't going to survive if people aren't willing to give birth. Having families is really important, and everybody that can have a kid should be having a kid. So you admit that this world has been built on the life-giving force of mothers. Well, no, our civilization was built on the back of men. Men created everything. Men have been in charge of everything. We created everything. You created some shitty systems that are barely working. Yeah, you did that. We take care of everything, and it's just your job to keep the species alive. That's a really big responsibility for someone as incapable as me. I think I quit. Too bad you can't quit. It's the natural order of things. Nope, you're just gonna have to figure it out.
The entire modern world exists solely because of male labor and sacrifice. Safe roads and warm houses don't magically appear out of thin air. A tantrum over basic biology completely ignores the men who built the safety net.
I'm literally so over men. This is what dating is like in 2026. Talking to this guy about meeting up, and I'm a big let's grab coffee first as a first date, like less pressure, less time, less money. I pick the location, I pick the time, I pick the place, and he responds and he's like, actually, that's a little far from me. I was like, okay, where do you live? He lives 20 minutes away. I'm asking for the most bare bone minimum, and we can't even do that. You can't even put 20 minutes into anything. What does that say about you? Like, at least where I live, you can't get anywhere in less than 20 minutes. I know you can't get a block in New York City in less than 20 minutes. Grocery store or a gas station in Los Angeles. And on a first date too, aren't you supposed to be putting your best foot forward and making the best first impression? I can't. I'm so done. It's like wondering why I'm not texting. What? No, sir, we are not doing that. Guys, please do better. This is so ridiculous. They wonder why women just don't want to date. It's because of this shit. Didn't even know how to respond.
It's been nearly 10 months with any touch from intimacy that I've ever had, except with myself. DJ every night. Anyway, and I've been single for 4 years, and I was in a relationship for 7 years before that, and it was the wrong one. It was so toxic, and now I'm really careful with the men I have in my life and not wasting time on the wrong people. But man, I need a ride, but I don't want it to be with just anyone, and I want that person to know my worth, because I feel like if you don't know the value I bring, then I'm not willing to bring my energy to you. And I'm just starting to think, am I going to be alone for life? Is that what's going to happen? I think so.
Let me tell you something, men. When you bitch about paying for a whole fucking bill, all you have to do to go on a date is scratch your nuts, put a t-shirt on and some jeans. Women, we get our hair done. Sometimes we go to the hairdressers, get a blowout. We do our makeup. We have an everything shower. Sometimes we go to see our therapist before we go on the fucking date. Because let's face it, we're going on a date with a man. And all you have to do is put clothes on. So yes, you are paying that bill. You're paying that bill. I don't see you doing any of that shit. So yeah, shut your trap.
Round of applause for me, because I have stayed off the dating apps for approximately 1 week, which is longer than usual. Every time I feel myself go into Hinge, I'm like, just think of all of the men that you're going to see popping up. Do you really want to go there? Do you know what? I don't, because they honestly think the dating apps make me not like men even more because of their inability to communicate or connect on any level. So in order to try and keep some shred of belief that there are good men out there, I need to stay away from them. I should probably stay away from TikTok too, but unfortunately I make money this way, so that's trickier. But yeah, I think for my mental health and to not end up thinking that all men in the world are truly, truly abysmal, that I need to just stay away from them.
Dating in LA and also like really big cities, it's really hard to date, especially LA. You get compared to the most beautiful humans on the planet. Like, people come here to get famous. People come here to be an actress, a model, and they are gorgeous. When you go out, I'm not comparing myself, but men are. This isn't Idaho. Like, I'm sure Idaho has beautiful people, but like, we're not in Idaho where like you go to a bar. Like, these are like some of the top most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. Looks are number one. Followers, close second. I've had people choose someone who is so horrible of a person, choose them over someone who is like a very like gorgeous, a perfect, amazing person because they have more followers. Men will date a girl because of her follower count, because of her clout, not because they actually really like her. Because that is what it's like dating here. And I'm not saying any of this because I'm salty. I have not just experienced it, I've seen it, I've been here for a very long time, and I've like seen it firsthand.
This is for men, and for men only. What the fuck do you do in your spare time in order to meet people? Because I'm at a loss, because I don't know how to meet you, because unless I'm doing like some sort of run club, High Rocks CrossFit thing, which will sound like hell, by the way. I don't understand. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Because the things I do, men don't go to. I go do dance classes. There's no men there. It's a girl thing only. So, like, what do you do? What are you just at home like I am? Is it through work? Because I work from home, so shit. The odds aren't looking good, guys. They're not. And I might just have to accept, like, it's an impossible reality for me. Yeah.